In this piano tutorial, we'll be learning the song Alpha and Omega, but in the key of F sharp major. I've previously taught this lesson in a different key, but I know a bunch of you guys are very comfortable in this key, so hopefully this video is beneficial. And like always, we'll be going through the song using some gospel or jazz chord substitutions and different passing chords that you can use and different voicings, okay? So I'll be playing it a little bit different than how the original sounds, right? We'll be using some different progressions. They're not too difficult to learn, but it gives the song a different type of sound, okay? So let's start off on the 5 chord, which I like voicing as a C sharp 9 sus4. Simply a C sharp sus4 under a B major add 2. So you are alpha. Right, I really love this progression because it starts off with a suspended chord, which is neither major or minor, right? And it sort of gives, it opens up for a bunch of possibilities, right? We can either go to a C sharp 7, but like you saw in this case, we went to this F diminished 7th, which is sort of implying a C sharp 7, but with a flatted 9, right? And we're playing it as a rootless voicing, right? There's no C sharp in this chord right here. So and we reach this first chord, or the 1, which is an F sharp major 9. Then we're going to play a 7, which is a 5 over 7 technically, right? This is the voicing. And back to the 1, and then the 2. And as you can see, these chords are still maintaining the melody of the song. So and as you saw there, that was a mistake. I started off on the 6 instead of the 5, but that's a different option that we have, right? We can even start the song this way, as a 6 or a 4 over 6 to the diminished 5 chord, right? And then to the 1. Or right here, we're playing a 2 chord, or an A flat minor 7. Some people like getting a little bit fancy, make it sound a little bit more interesting by playing a flat 7 over the 2, which in this case would be something like this. Right? It's a little bit out there, but who knows? It will probably inspire you to use this chord in another song. So right, we can get creative and even reharmonize some of the chords. We worship you. Right, I'm just experimenting with different chords, but let's get back to the lesson, right? And I'm playing a 2, back to the 1. Then I like using this 1 over 3 chord, but voiced with a major 7. This is the major 7 right here, right under the 1, which creates that tension. So to lead us to the 4. Now, usually in the original, we would play something like this. We worship you. Right, half diminished 2 chord, or 2 half diminished, to the 1 of the 5, then the 2, then the 5, 6, 7, and back to the 1. But I actually want to play it in a simpler way, but it sounds interesting the way that these chords, even though they're different than these half diminished gospel chords, they still fit in with the song, and it would sound something like this, right? right? So what I did here was I played the 3 to lead us to the 4, and then we're going to play a passing chord to lead us to the 6. Right, and this passing chord is an A flat diminished over D. Technically, I like thinking about this in this way, right? We're going to the 6th chord, which is E flat. We go down a half step, and then from here we just create a chord by using an interval of minor thirds, or 3 half steps, right? So in this case, we can go up by 3 or go up by another 3 and skip that initial 3, right? But in this case, I just have it voiced like this, where the melody is separated from this cluster so that it stands out, but I'm still including some main chords which make it a diminished chord, right? We can even include this F down here, right? So that's our passing chord, which will lead us to the 6, like I said before. And we have different possibilities for the voicings of this 6th chord. In this case, I'm playing an E flat minor 11. It's a bit of a stretch in the left hand. All right, we can play it up here, or even like this, right? In this case, all black notes, very easy. So and from here, we're going to go to the 2. But what's very interesting is that the melody is actually on the 3, right? This B flat. And what 2 chord includes this B flat, right? If we have a 2, make it minor, we add the 7th. In this case, this B flat happens to be the minor 9th, okay? Or the 9th. And we use that to our advantage, right? So right? Sounds very nice in conjunction with this chord. Then the next chord is a F sharp, or the next melody note is an F sharp or G flat, however you want to call it. And we have different options again. We can stay on the 2 because it's still part of the chord. Or in this case, I like going to the 4, just to provide some movement. Right? In this case, I voice the 4 as a B major 13. Then we go to the 5, to the 6, to the 7, and then we're back to the 1. Right? So that would be the first part of the song. Let's move on to the chorus, which is actually very similar. And usually in this chorus, we would play something like this, right? A 7-3-6 progression. But let's make it even simpler, but different. So right, in this case, I'm playing a 4 over a 1. And then this chord right here, completely different. It might even sound too dissonant for your ears, but I'm actually going to play a 7 chord, but as a major chord, so an F major. And as you can see, the melody is still up here, but I'm gonna play this over the pedal point of the 1. So I'm going to play it over F sharp. It's an F sharp diminished major 7. So in context, it would sound like this. Now we're back to the 4, and then back to the 1. So once again, we give you Then here we would basically play what I just shared. We worship you, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to the 1. Right, and that's basically the whole song. And what I want to do now is just play it through without any interruptions so you get a better idea of how it sounds. Quick reminder, I have a piano course available. It's in the first link in the description. I teach 11 gospel jazz progressions just like the ones in this song, and you can definitely take advantage of that. And I'll actually be adding more progressions to that same course. That way you have a bigger library of different progressions. Okay, so let's get started in F sharp major.